Alright, welcome back everyone to the Sword of Mercury. It's not exactly the same when I don't whisper in an ASMR format, but today we have a more serious topic, so I will be a bit more soft-spoken instead of ASMR-ish. But in essence, it's basically about how to get rich quick. And let me stop you right there. I know what you're thinking. Oh, but Prince, there is no get rich quick. Well, yeah, you have a point about that. However, there's a way to get rich quicker, which I should have put here, but YouTube, clickbait, blah blah blah. So I got your attention. Stick around because I'm not going to waste it. So chances are, if you're still watching this video, it's because you want to figure out how to become successful. And there's a few things we should outline first. First is that you have to admit that there's something you need to learn out there. And you cannot learn by being arrogant. And what I mean by that is that you cannot learn something that you think you already know. And that's why it's so important to actually work with other people on your way to success. The thing is that nobody out there, not the richest man in the world, he is not self-made. None of them are self-made, because the essence of money, or making money as a skill, or a quality rather, is not a thing that you can accomplish by yourself. And the reason for that is because the essence of money is exchange. It's a network. It's a system. That's why they call it the economy, the monetary system, because it's connected to other things, it's connected to other people. Everyone has it, and they constantly giving it from place to place. When you buy something, a book online, that's exchange. Money is traveling. When you extract money from the bank by pulling it out of your account, that's money in movement. So there's a whole network of things. So basis is, you cannot get rich, you cannot become successful, you cannot be financially independent if you don't accept that there is a network attached to that. So you need a network. That's a primary thing to understand. You need a network. And what comes along with that? Accepting that I don't know everything. I need the assistance of other people, and I need to assist other people. Because, again, it's exchange, it's give and take. There has to be balance, right? So, if you're watching up to now, I assume that you found that what I'm saying actually makes some amount of sense. So, I will say, actually, before I say this about and talk about the channel a little bit, and before I get into this, that if I did have this next quality, which I will say is the second quality after understanding that you need a network and other people, is the aspect of trust. Trust with yourself, basically meaning that if you say you're going to do something, you do it. For example, even this channel, have like 50 videos up on this channel, and I'm only not even 330 subs. So what I'm saying is that there are some people who have 2 videos on their channel and they get 15,000 subscribers right away, right? I'm in it for the long haul. I don't care if I have 2 subscribers or I have 2 million subscribers. The basis is that I am in something for the long haul. I don't crash out like the rest of these brokies who just say, well, this isn't really working out for me because I did it for about a year and I haven't gotten any farther yet. So I haven't done it for a year yet, but my point, I'm guessing you get my point, is that I'm not somebody who gives up just because things aren't working out immediately. The fucking, ASMR chick showing her boobs on the internet is getting more views than I do, but I don't crash out, right? So basis is, you have to dedicate yourself to, I will not quit, I will not stop, I will not give up until I get to my end goal, whatever that is. I still think if I had $5 million in my back pocket tomorrow, I would still be doing this channel. Why? Because I actually genuinely believe in what I'm doing. And I can see that from the comments I get from you guys who actually support me. In any case, I will just say about trust, the last point before we actually get into this, or I talk about the channel and then we get into this, is that you need to trust other people as well. You have to realize that I cannot do everything by myself, and I have to trust people to take on tasks and to be able to do them well. And that doesn't mean that, I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to run into brokies. And what I mean by that is people who have a broke mindset. They think that, oh yeah, I want to get rich. Oh, but I have to put in the work? Okay, no, I don't really want to get rich, you know? So people who you invite on board to your empire, and then you see them slacking, not doing work, not reaching out about, hey, what are we doing next? How are we going to figure out this problem? How are we going to come up with a solution to what we're working on in terms of implementing something in the world that is going to change things and bring in revenue to our company? If people are not thinking about those questions, if people are not constantly working on that stuff, or at least can commit to showing up a specific day of the week to do things, they have a brokey mindset. You do not want them anywhere near you. And you're going to run into those people, and that's why I say this, because that's not a lesson that, oh yeah, I can't trust anyone, I'll just do it myself. That's a lesson that there are people out there who say they want to do something, but they don't have willpower. They're brokies. They're losers. They're going to be losers forever. Why? Because if you genuinely believe in an idea and you genuinely are committed, you'll find a way to make it work. It doesn't matter on what timeline it is. Like I said, I'm 50 videos in here and barely pushing 300 subscribers, right? So in essence, what you have to find is people who are committed to that mission of making money, of getting rich, of creation, of inventing things, of coming up with ideas. People who have no ideas cannot assist you. People who have no action cannot assist you. People who have no drive cannot assist you. So this is number 2 in the realm of important tips here. So first one is accepting you can't do it by yourself and that you need a network. Step 2 is being able to trust yourself in commitment to that mission and trust other people. And so that when you have the brokies, that doesn't convince you that, oh yeah, I'll just do it myself. It convinces you, hey, I need to find people who are actually committed to becoming successful. That's the lesson. In essence, though, I'll talk a little bit about the channel briefly as a place where you can actually accomplish becoming successful, and then I'll get into all of these things which I've detailed here about how to actually implement them. So, for the channel, I'm going to say that if I can make this channel anything with the perspective that I have now, it's going to be a channel about becoming successful, becoming a better version of yourself, figuring out how to live the life you want. So if any of those things interest you in terms of subjects, I recommend that you reach out to me in the comment section. You subscribe, like the video, help support the channel, help me build this community. Because fundamentally, all I am doing is creating a platform for successful people and entrepreneurs and business people and anybody interested in money or the economy or success as an individual, bettering yourself in some way, can network on this platform. That's what I'm transforming this into. So all the science content, all the metaphysical content is going to be on the side and pushed aside until I see some progress in this area, because I realize that most people, while they are somewhat interested in that type of content, there's always going to be the nature of human beings, which are that something interests you for a short time while you're scrolling on TikTok, and then you scroll off of it and you don't really ever think about it again. You don't implement any change from that in your life. And the only other thing that interests people is material gain and money, right? So I'm focusing on that right now. In essence, though, that's the basis. That's my pitch. Reach out to me if you want to network. Reach out to me if you want to work together. Reach out if you want to build a community and the platform, or work on any projects regarding money together. I'll leave that to you. into the video now. I know we're about 10 minutes in, but trust me, this is well worth it. And, if you've stuck with me this long, congratulations, you're not a brokey, you're not a slacker, because you have attention span, which is a quality you actually need, because you need to be committed to the mission on a long term, like I said. In essence, if you want money, you have to understand things related to money. Like I said, money is always coming from from somewhere to and from somewhere. When you pull money out of the bank, that's money going from the bank to you. Even though they've just held your money, obviously they invest and do other things with it. It's not just sitting around in a dusty vault, but essentially it's moving back to you. If you buy something, if you buy a book, that's money moving to a company. So money is always in motion. It's always moving from place to place. It's kind of like an ocean or water or river. It's always flowing from somewhere. So you need to find a way to stand in the middle of that stream. So you can come with buckets and scoop up some water so you have water, right? So that means you need to typically implement something in your business or whatever you're working on that fixes or solves a problem, comes up with a solution to something that was not previously invented. So all of these are aspects of money, pretty much. Materiality, so material things. Like I said, buying a book, buying something. Resources, money is connected to resources. It's put into things like funds and trusts and bank accounts. Those are resources as well, right? Assets, houses, property, even vehicles, though there's a whole concept of depreciation and whatnot. Trade. So of course, putting in stock market, buying stocks, you're exchanging money for a part of a company, right? That's what trade is. Or you can do that with exchanging something for money. I have something of value. I have, a million-year-old coin. Give me some money for it. Or collector's items, whatever you want to say, right? Influence. So money is connected to influence. If you have money, you can influence things because you can create advertising. You can create certain circumstances in which people are influenced to either listening to you or buying what you're selling. So Warren Buffett, he does not have any reason to have influence besides that he is rich and he has knowledge of being rich, right? So there's a great example. Influence. Presentation. So money is related to presentation. You have to be able to present your idea in a way that's going to compel the viewer to buy what you're selling. So I have to present what I'm saying or outline my product in a way that's going to make people want to buy it, right? So if I was selling you this marker, I don't say, well, it's white and it has a black cap and it's really reliable and feels nice in your hand and it has 4 sides. I don't say that shit. What I say is that you need to be able to write stuff down on your whiteboard because what if somebody is speaking or what if you're listening to something that's important and you need to be able to write something down quick, right? And you can be the next professor if you had a whiteboard marker that would assist you with your endeavors. That's something that's going to make you want to buy that thing, right? So you don't talk about the product, you talk about the need that the consumer has. Even here, I said need. That's kind of already self-explanatory in that case. Appearance, kind of the same thing as presentation. The way the product appears, is it elegant, is it unique, is it in a specific form that makes the audience attracted to it? Does it have nice colors? Does it have a slick design? Whatever your product is it appealing to the audience, or does it look like some fucking cheap trash, right? So this is simple stuff, right? Association. If somebody who is say already successful or they're famous or whatever, like I don't know, some famous actor is selling something, you're going to want to buy that from basically what that actor or that person is talking about, because they already have a reputation, or a company is selling something, right? Oh, Dove has a new soap product or whatever. They're selling new hand soap or whatever. Well, I like their products in the past, so I might as well try this one. That's how the consumer mind works. It works by association. Does this company, does this person who is repping this product, have I listened to them before? Do I like them as a person? Do I like them as a brand? Yes? Okay, well, I'm more inclined to buy what they're selling. So there you go, association. Products, kind of on the same page, but basically money is connected to products, obviously. But essentially, if you design a product, that is basically a way to bring in money, obviously. But so companies typically want to sell more things to amp up their revenue. I know it sounds kind of simple, but in essence, like if a company was selling one thing, like let's say Apple stuck with just selling phones, that would cap where they're able to make money. Okay, well, everybody has a phone now and everybody's bought our product and they have the latest bullshit fucking version of Apple, whatever. So, okay, well, now we're not going to bring in any more revenue from the year because we sold the phone everybody wants one. No, they're thinking, what can we design along our product line that is going to be in addition to that? Well, we can make headphones, we can make fucking, I don't know, we could fucking partner with other companies, we could partner with Beats or whatever, we can partner with other companies that will essentially bring in more revenue, or they can partner with other products, right? Bring in other products. They design headphones, they're designing the fucking, goofy ass geek watches. So there's another fucking thing, right? So assistance. People want to exchange money for assistance. If a fucking old person can't find anybody to talk to because, they're left in a senior's home and, their family has abandoned them or whatever, they're probably going to want somebody to talk to or, help them out with stuff, carrying the fucking groceries. I don't fucking know. But they will pay people to do those services, or in the winter time, if you live in Canada like I do, it's fucking frozen wasteland, like for half the year. You have snow on the fucking driveway half the time, which you can pay somebody to fucking come and shovel for you. And then the other half of the year is fucking, you need the grass being cut, right? So essentially, those are both tasks which people outsource to other people. Here, give this person fucking $20 to shovel the driveway, whatever, right? So that's another form of assistance. You can exchange money for assistance with things. Exchange, kind of, simple to interpret that. Money, exchange, that's the basis of money. Value, so you typically exchange money for things of value. I think I might have went over that one already. In essence, that's the basis of how money transaction works. This is more so investing. So, okay, I want to make money, but I don't necessarily want to, do all this hard work forever. Fair point. We'll get into that. Key is that you really can't, this is the whole essence of the pyramid scheme, which is the economic system and the monetary system and the essence of money, the whole scam of it, which is the same reason why, if you did not know, on the American money they have the fucking pyramid, the eye of provenance on it, because they're pyramid schemers. They're fucking I'm not going to get into it, but, secret society bullshit, basically. Where you have the person, the one-eye man is king. The man who stands at the top of the pyramid is king. So, in essence, that's why the 1% keep getting richer and everybody else stays poor. Because, essentially this, is that if you have money, it's easy to make money. If you don't have money, it's difficult to make money. And this is the basis of it. Everybody knows, if I had a couple $1 million, I could be rich forever. Yeah, I there's not a day that goes by where I don't think that myself. I could have actually, on the note of trust, circling back around to that, I forgot to include this part. If I actually trusted more so the people who are around me earlier in life, I could have a couple $1,000,000 sitting in my back pocket right now off Bitcoin. But what? I was too arrogant? Yeah. And, well, I was also like 13 at the time, so you can't really blame somebody. But it's less forgivable as you get older in life, so you need to be willing to trust people, trust yourself, pay attention to things, do your fucking research. So if you're somebody 30, 40, 50 years old exhibiting those same lack of vision qualities and sense of arrogance and not wanting to learn things about stuff, then that's your own fucking fault. You got to fix those things now and take action on them so they don't impact you later on. So, in essence, though, that was my blunder. And the essence of this is that, let's say compare almost the, like, okay, let's say I had $1,000,000 off of if I invest in Bitcoin at this time. Then it makes it easier to make $10,000,000, right? And this is the essence of this table that I outlined. You can 10x your money. And if you're not quite sure what this is not $10. This is 10 and then basically a variable, which is by the dollar sign, right? If you're not sure what a variable is, it's like something in math that is a multiplication of a factor, right? So if you have usually they use X and Y in math, but for this purpose I just use the dollar sign. Keeps it simple. In essence, if you have $100 and you're getting 10 times the return, and this is basically a very oversimplification of investment and the market and stuff like that, because typically, there's not a guaranteed return. You're not always going to get 10 times your money back. Sometimes a lot of the times it's more like maybe if you're lucky, you might get 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times the percent return back. So 4 times your money. But I use 10 just for this example to illustrate how much money you need to actually make money based on investment. If you have $100 and you get 10 times your money back, again, a lot more than you would typically get return in a stock market, you get $1,000 out. And again, you have to watch the stock, obviously, and it fluctuates, so it's not guaranteed that you're going to get that amount of money back. But this is just a basic structure. So $100, 10 times, you get $1,000 back. 210, 2,000, 250, to 2,500. Simple, right? 1,000, 10, 10,000. And then if you had $1,000,000 and it was 10 times your return back, you'd have $10,000,000, right? So this is the basis of the pyramid scheme right here, that if you had $1,000,000, you could turn it into $10,000,000, right? Or you can typically, if you found a stock and you watched it and you waited till the percent return rate was 400, you can turn $1,000,000 into $4,000,000, right? Which is a bit more practical. In essence, this is just to illustrate what I'm talking about. Now, spinning around, or actually maybe I won't spin around, I'll just lean back here. Essentially, if we're looking at things related to network, which is important for understanding how you're going to actually come up in the world of finance, because like I said, you can't do it by yourself as much as we would like to. Trust me, I know. Based on the mentality that typically you can get things done better. You can get things done better when you do it by yourself, which I am all too familiar with that methodology of going about things. In essence, though, if you can drop that, at least for the sake of making money, you can make money. So network, what are forms of network? Partners, people who you will work with in your company that you're building, in your empire, in your business, whatever, in your business that you're inventing, in your corporation, whatever. Partners, Maybe they're even working on other things. Maybe they're working in different companies, but people who will assist you in some way. Businesses. So this just says business, but I meant to say businesses. So say for example, you are somebody like me, actually. Let's use me for example, since this is a clear analogy. So if you're not familiar with my channel Moonstruck, my podcast, which I always link in the description below, check that out. It got picked up by Rogers over this past summer, and Rogers I can now consider a network for me because they are now airing my show, they're airing my content. So that's a business that I'm connected to. Not in the sense that I own that business or that business owns my work, but in a sense where that business and I are connected by some means. Whether that is that they're just giving you free advertisement like they're doing for me, or they are giving you money in return for a service or whatever, that is all relative to your interaction with that business. So businesses, platforms, YouTube, social media, Instagram, whatever, all of these platforms, those are all platforms. And then you have in-person platforms. You have, your fucking bullshit colleges and universities where, they're teaching you garbage about how to fucking be successful in life when, well, they're supposed to be, when they're really just telling you how to be assembly line worker, and imprisoned within the matrix. But that's a whole nother conversation. But in essence, that's a platform where you can use to network with people, to join things like clubs, to go to events, to meet people who will hopefully have some fucking shred of ambition to actually do something outside their matrix life. In essence, platforms. So focus on that. Focus on where can I get reach? Where can I talk about ideas? Where can I implement things? Where can I grow? Where can I learn? Where can I find out things? Even professors are great, assuming they have any brains at all, and that really is subjective. Sometimes you meet one or two professors who actually have a knowing, and you're just like, this guy's onto some new shit, And a lot of times you meet professors where it's just like, how did these guys ever fucking get a job, right? So, and remember, jobs are for brokies, right? You want a career line, you don't want a job. So in essence, assets is the next thing. Assets we've already kind of touched on in a sense. A lot of things that are related to assets are things like leverage. So things you can leverage for something. So basic thing, mortgage, right? Mortgage is something that people take out from a bank or get from a bank so they can afford to buy a house because they don't have $2 million cash lying around in their fucking bank, right? So most people do not have free $2 million lying around, right? To just buy a house cash, right? Or to buy a house out of money they already have. So they need a mortgage. They need to loan money from a bank, or they need to get a loan from a bank, and the bank will charge them interest and whatnot, right? But they're leveraging their property and the money they've already invested based on the career and their income that they're bringing in order to afford that, right? In order for the bank to give them that loan. So that's another form of assets, right? You can leverage things. So an example, let's focus on partners since it's an easy one. Let's focus on partners. So where's a place I can find partners? Network with partners. Gym's a great place. That's why I am in personal training, because gym is a great place to naturally network with other people, to meet people, especially people who are not lazy fucks, because there's a lot of people like that out there. And gym's a typical way you can see, oh, well, this person's committed to their fitness. I wonder what else they're committed to. So that's one place. Another place College, like I said, bullshit colleges and universities, great place to find people who are in different industries working on different shit and maybe can assist you with your thing. This is a little tip I'll give you since you've watched this far. One of the things I say to all the people who are in school with me, and keep in mind most of them are brokies so they don't fucking listen, but you have a rare opportunity if you're at a college or university that you will likely never have again in your entire life, because most of these people, like I said, are brokies. But, and keep in mind, broke is a mindset. It's not having money. That's being poor. So being broke is having the mindset that, oh well, I'm just gonna do stuff and hopefully money will come to me and I shouldn't have to put in any work outside of some menial job to actually bringing income. That's brokey mindset. You want a mindset of how can we get money. In essence, that's aside. Um, so the tip to implement is that you will never have an opportunity like that where you're going to be in one place that is connected to so many different industries in a simple setting for the rest of your life. Because while you're at college, if you're working on something, say like me, you're in social media or you're doing some kind of social media platform, I'm not in social media. I'm not in how to fucking manage a social media or how to manage an online company or how to manage any of those things. I'm in a personal training. I was in journalism before this, but I realized that it's all about bullshitting through the media, which I kind of already knew going into that. But again, a story for another time. But point is, I know a lot about fitness, the human body, spirituality, you know, how to develop yourself as an individual, how to become formidable in fighting and martial arts, of all these things. Very, let's say, specific qualities that are innate to becoming a better individual, but not necessarily things that are going to assist you with accelerating the progress of your online business or online platform, right? So you need to find somebody who has that quality. Fortunately, if you're in some kind of stupid college or university, there's going to be some students there who are probably in a program like social media management who you could say, hey, I know we both don't have any money because we're both in school and we're both poor, and because of that, I can help you get a job in the future. If you want to do some work for this company or business I'm putting together, I can give you a reference and I can give you a testimonial and I can testify to your authenticity for when you go for a position in your career. So when you go to do work for somebody else or go to do work for a company, they can call you and say, hey, yeah, this guy did great work for me and you should hire him because blah, 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 blah. He helped me get, 5 million subs, whatever, like that's the kind of shit you can say. You can say that, okay, well, I'll give you a reference, I'll give you a testimonial for your work because I can testify to the authenticity of your work since you've assisted me basically like you would do in a career, or like for their career, I mean. So basically, they've done work for you. You can testify to their authenticity, and you don't have to pay them, right? So this is the thing, right? Like I said, exchange, right? Value exchange, right? They want something in return for their service. You can't give them money. Give them something that does not cost anything. Testimonial, reference, whatever. Even an opportunity to work with you on something that might make money in the future. That's another thing, right? Again, you might need to sell it a bit more because, like I said, most of these people have brokey mindsets. So you got to kind of say like, hey, like this is what I can do for you. In essence, events, going to things in the community, going to things, related to maybe even being at one of these places. Maybe even you're, I don't know, you go to a rec center and you play sports there or whatever. That's another thing that you can say, right? That's an event, right? You can say to people who you're playing with on your team, oh yeah, hey, this is what I'm working on, blah, blah, blah. You meet people. Maybe they want to jump on board your project. Maybe they're interested in what you're selling. Maybe they want to check out your content, whatever. There you go, connections, clubs, another thing similar to that, right? Maybe, like, probably most people who are watching this, myself included, are not going to the cigar club. But if you were to go to the cigar club, you would probably meet people there, and they would probably have, either contacts or, people who want to engage in what you're doing, or people who want to be part of your business project. So that's another point. Interests, same thing, right? If you like fucking, I don't know, if you like fucking knitting, for example, you can probably find a fucking old lady knitting club if that's who's watching this video, right? Find some club that you're interested in, show up, meet people, and say, hey, this is what I'm working on, blah, 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 blah. Fucking, just talk a little bit about yourself, and they might say, oh, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Hey, let me get your social, blah, 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 whatever, right? There you go, another contact. Online, Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, all of these bullshit platforms that are always based around how do I connect with other people who have similar interests, right? Or have topics that they want to talk about, or things that are related to what I'm aiming to do. So you have all of these avenues here in terms of what you need as a prerequisite to getting rich quick. Because the thing is that people always say that you can work smart or you can work hard, right? But nobody ever talks about doing fucking both. Why would you not just work smart and hard? If you knew, it's almost like, say you were like the Hulk, right? And, or actually, I don't know, say you were some superhero who had the ability to smash down walls, right? Would you think that the smart way to go about doing something to conserve your energy for a fight coming up would be to run right through the walls? Or would you navigate a speedway around the walls and then have more energy to fight? You would probably do the second one, because that would be working smarter and harder instead of just harder or smarter, right? So the basis of this is that you want to use both of those things. You want to say, well, first, where is my goal? That's the first thing you have to outline. Where is my goal? And then how do I get it? How do I get to it as smart as possible? By implementing all of the things around your mindset which you need to get to that end goal. And then you say, how much am I willing to dedicate myself in terms of just brute force in order to get there? And once you have both of those qualities together, the insight around how you're going to get there and the power that says, how much am I willing to commit myself to getting there with just force, then you have both of those together on the same side. So don't work smart and don't work hard, work both, right? In essence, that's the episode today, or video. I'm used to saying episode because of my podcast. Check that out if you want to in the description below. Like I said, like and subscribe. It really does help. Like I said, if you want to build this platform with me, comment below. If you like to see more content like this, if this helped you in any way, comment $sign or money, comment something like that, or comment get rich quick or some shit like that. Comment that down below. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you today. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. I know this is not ASMR, which this channel is typically meant to be. Let me know if you want to see money ASMRs, or explain shit on money, or how to make money, or something about money or finances in ASMR format. And that's pretty much it for today's video. Like I already said, all my links and social media will be linked in the description below. I have professional podcasts that I do, which you can check out on my other channels. I am in the midst of creating a new channel that is going to be focused on a bit more discussion-based stuff, me just rambling about, life, or, maybe some themes that I've previously explored on this channel, like mysticism, philosophy, psychology, etc. So I'll keep you guys updated with that when I have more details about what I actually want to implement on there. Stay up to date with all the stuff that's going to be released on this channel. Like I said, if you're interested in money or making money or whatever, something around finances, that's the content that will be coming soon. So make sure you click the notification bell when you subscribe to stay updated when I release new videos. And thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys for watching to the end. You're not a slacker because you have watched to the end, so congratulations. And remember, just keep grinding, guys, because it is a long journey, but again, it's about the journey itself. So if you can stay focused on not only your why, but what you are learning and what is developing you as an individual along the way, you will genuinely be better off. Because the people who don't have a deep enough why, or are just doing it for shallow reasons, as like, I don't know, that they just want some material thing, those guys are the ones who always crash out. So just stick to who you are and commit yourself, and you'll be surprised at how far you can actually go. And I guarantee you, if you actually apply yourself, you will become successful. I guarantee you. See you next time on the Sword of Mercury.